Hi everyone, it's me Darlene coming to you live from Hannaford's parking lot. Except I'm not live, and I never will be. I often get asked, why don't you do live streaming? I have no interest in doing that. I don't even like to watch people who do live. I don't like it at all. I don't enjoy any part of it. And I am all about the editing, and sadly my editing sucks because I have Movie Maker. And those few occasions where I watch at least part of a video, I really can tell that a lot of times it cuts my words, and I never think to explain to you guys it's because of Movie Maker. Even though I will cut and in the editing it sounds good, it can delete quite a bit of before and after that cut. So sometimes, because I talk so fast, I, will end up having the words before or after cut, and it just sounds stupid. But hey, that's the best I can do, because I like dinosaur things like Movie Maker that doesn't have any support anymore. Okay, that was quite a hello, wasn't it? It's hot. It's fucking hot. It's 80 degrees, but it's humid. And I had to go out to do, had an appointment. Well, I didn't have an appointment. I had an errand to do for my mother. And then I thought, since I was out, I would run here to Hannaford because she has 2 slices of bread left. And so I bought her 3 loaves of bread to get her through the rest of this week. And it's Friday, so I guess it'll get her through hopefully all of next week. I have very gray temples, and I need to pick up some hair dye next time I go to Walmart. Or I could wait until Skylar comes and have her do it. Or I could do it now and still have her do it then. I don't know. But I go to pick her up in just a little over 3 weeks. And fun. Okay, the errand I had to do for my mother was to go to the Department of Health and Human Services to ask about this program. She's not eligible for main care, which would pay for like the out-of-pocket stuff that she has to pay for. But I guess there's this thing called a spend down program, and I don't know very much about it. I just know I sent them all the paperwork that they asked for almost 2 months ago, because I had the date written down, and I've not heard a thing from them. And they said, oh, they just haven't looked at it yet. We do see that we got the information. So it's like, okay. But when I went in there, I've never been in there, and and it's right here in Sanford, and I didn't even know like where in Sanford it was, but it was like a big room, like going into the DMV, with all kinds of chairs, and I was so glad that there was nobody sitting in them, because I was like, good God, is it possible that this place could be packed? And lots of chairs there. And then she called me, and I thought I was going to be able to go in some office, but no, I had to sit at a desk, not a desk, like a counter, and talk on a phone to a woman behind a glass. And I was like, I feel like I'm visiting someone in jail. So it was very weird. And had there been a whole bunch of people in there, they would have heard every single thing that I was talking about. So I don't know. That was just odd. I don't know what happened to like going into an office and sitting down and talking without glass and a phone. But anyway, I did that, and I didn't accomplish anything, but I just know I need to keep waiting. And then I came here and I got her some bread, and I picked up some other stuff, like bananas. Everything's in the trunk. And I got her a couple tomatoes. I didn't get myself any meat. Nothing is on sale. And oh, I did get myself some chicken breasts, 4 chicken breasts with skin on the bone that I can broil. And I think I might do that when I go home tonight. I think that's what, well, when I go home tonight. When I go home today, what time is it? 4:30 almost. And that'll be good. And then I bought her, they have like a chicken wings bar, and I got her 3 wings and 3 big fat onion rings and 2 or 3 potato wedge pieces. Good God, I thought she was going to hit my car backing out. Can't do that. I really don't have all that much to talk about. I just thought I would chat with you guys for a little bit since I'm out. And oh my God, it's so hot. Alert! I have some leftover questions. I didn't print any new ones out, but I have some leftovers. Maybe if I answer a couple of those, maybe I can manage to get rid of this stuff. Looks like I did all those. I think we did all of this. All right, let's see. I love how you tell people, let me turn this down a little bit. I love how you tell people, keep walking. I love how you tell people how it is and everything, but geez, I'm being so distracted. It's distracted parking as opposed to distracted driving. I love how you tell people how it is and everything, but what makes me wonder is how do you get such a thick skin and let some of their comments, if you're back, maybe she meant slide off your back. I would love to try a YouTube channel, but I'm so afraid of getting comments that would upset me. So I wear my feelings on my sleeve, and I know that's wrong thing to do. You such a strong woman in your voice and your actions. Thank you for your channel. I don't know if I have thick skin. I just am actually not bothered by personal insults at all, because I kind of was raised that way to just accept personal insults on a daily basis. And, you know, that doesn't bother me. I have a lot of issues with the comments, but I don't think they're the normal issues that other people have. But I will say, if somebody feels like they would be bothered by insults or, you know, just being cut down in any way, yeah, you're gonna need some thick skin, because there's a lot of that. I just got one today. I mean, geez, I get them all the time, but there was one today that I didn't even save it like for a future thing, because it's just so average of what I get on a regular basis that I just like, you know, nah, whatever. It was, you are, oh, how exactly did he say it? You are such an asshole, you fat fucking piece of shit. That's what he said. And I was like, you know, I didn't even bother to reply to it. It's not even like creative to me. It's like they just try to throw all the words in there. And I don't know. I know it was like, you know, like, what's sad is it the profile picture, and I have no clue if that's really the person, but it looked like maybe a boy of like maybe 15 or 16 years old, like right there, a teenager, could have been younger, could have been a little older. But I find that is very sad that somebody so young is already so filled with that kind of shit, you know. I don't know, he shouldn't feel like saying that to people yet. Wait till you grow up and realize that people do suck, and then you can start insulting them. But I'm a complete stranger to that person, so there's no reason for them to say anything to me like that, but they do. Oh, I put the questions down like I'm done. I was wondering what the deciding factor for starting a YouTube channel was, and your vision. Did I read? See, I'm afraid I didn't cross it out, but it sounds like I read this already, but I don't think so. And what your vision of, and was your vision of the direction, some of these are cut off. So what she's saying is, and would your vision go in the different direction from where you are now? Would you change anything if you could go back to day one? I'm very glad you did start it. I want to go back to your first video just to see it. My first videos are just like things about sales and stuff. It's completely different than what I do now. Anyway, would I do things different? I don't know. I don't necessarily know. I would at least not be as afraid to change things, because things have to always change for it to continue to be interesting for me. And I know that the audience is really an important part of this to make a channel successful, but I don't think an audience will hang around if the creator is not content with what she or he is doing. And I'm watching a lot of that with, especially with Bunny, Graveyard Girl. She's, you know, she was just struggling, and I think she, more than me, and I don't know her at all, but I'm saying from the way she talks about things, I think she still puts a lot of weight on what her audience wants, where I put more of the weight on to what I want. And I know that sounds selfish, but it has to be. It has to be me first, or I can't give anybody anything that they want at all, because I wouldn't be happy. Do I try to at least do some of the things that I know people like? Sure. I do, but if I stopped liking to do those things, I would not be able to continue to do them. Like, I'm okay with doing a car vlog. I like to bring you guys into Walmart. I know you guys like the Walmart trips. I know some of you, a lot of you like the car vlogs. But if I decided one day that I'm so sick and tired of shopping with a camera, I wouldn't do it just because somebody wants me to. You know, and I do have people who complain about the car vlogs. I want you to only take us shopping in the store. I don't want to hear you talking in the car. Well, I'm sorry, but not all stores want my camera in the store. And even if I did take my camera everywhere in the stores with me, I would still want to do the car vlog part because I kind of like this. It's more relaxed. I'm not at home in my squeaky chair. So I have to do what I want first. And a lot of people struggle with that. A lot of people think it has to be the audience first, and then they suffer. And with me, it's I have to be first, and I know that, but I still suffer with that because I feel bad when I don't feel like performing, you know? So it's always a struggle. But would I do anything different? I think I would have just always stayed with just one channel, except for if I still wanted to do ASMR. That's such a whole different creature that needs to be separate. But like, I would have never started a craft channel or a deals channel or all these things that I was doing at the beginning because I thought that this channel had to be just, you know, one thing in particular. And no, I would just have this channel be me and all that I like to do. And I wouldn't worry about it. I would just do it. I think that's all I have. I didn't have very many that I didn't read. More paper. Okay, here's an interesting one. Interesting to me because, well, let me just read it first. Any creator that cuts their regular channel to cater to paid subscribers will lose subscribers and piss people off to no end. It sends the message that only people paying me are worth my time. Now, this is in relation to Patreon, and it probably was brought up because YouTube is also going to be doing sponsored, putting sponsor buttons there for anybody who wants to sponsor creators, but they have to have 100,000 subscribers, and I don't. And, you know, I have no clue when I get there, if I ever get there, you know, if I will try that or not. But I do Patreon, and what people don't understand, and I've tried to explain this repeatedly, again, I have to do what I have to do, whether it's getting a part-time job at McDonald's, driving for Uber, you know, whatever, going over to Patreon, and any other thing I do to supplement, because I'm not making anywhere near enough on just YouTube. Anywhere I go to supplement my income will indeed take some of my time away, but I think that with all that I do, up until just like a couple of weeks ago, I've been still putting out a video every day on this channel with a few exceptions, like when I travel or something. So I don't think that I took anything away from anybody, but even if I did, it's because I have to do that. It's because I have to, you know, be able to go to other platforms or get other jobs and do what I have to do to make my life where I want it to be financially, to hopefully have some kind of a retirement. You don't know how worried it makes me that I'm not going to be able to have enough in case something would happen to me. I want to be able to, you know, be able to support myself without being a burden to anyone. And, you know, I will work as old as I'm possibly able to, but there's no guarantee that I'll always be able to work. So, you know, these are the things that I think about. You know, I don't lay in bed thinking, oh, is everybody going to be mad because I did another Patreon video? No, I'm like, oh my God, I hope that I can attract enough viewers either on YouTube or on Patreon or whatever so that I can retire at some point and not be worried to death that I'm going to be a burden to my son or to Skylar or to whatever. And I'm not saying I want to have a rich lifestyle when I retire. I want to be able to pay for my home and my food and whatever out-of-pocket medical I have, you know, just the basics, and it can cost a lot of money. So as for me doing other things, that's just what I have to do. And if somebody doesn't understand that, that's not the kind of person I even really want in my circle. That's just like such negative energy. So that is the person who is selfish, that they just want what they want and they can't see past their own nose to know that that other person is doing what they have to do. And the fact that I'm doing Patreon, it's so similar to YouTube because I'm doing videos for YouTube. I do videos that are exclusive for Patreon. So people think, oh, well, she's taking away from here and putting it there. No, I added this to there. And I have all the right in the world to do that. And it would be no different than if I had started having a live show. I started touring and I was coming to a location near you and I would be charging you $35 to come and see the show. I would have the right to do that. I don't think people would be mad at that. Oh, well, I'm not going to pay for you. I want to see you free on YouTube, and you better not do these shows. You better just stick to YouTube and give us everything we want there. Doesn't that sound stupid? It sounds stupid to me. And it sends the message that only people paying me are worth my time. No, because you're not paying me and I am sitting here talking to you, and I do that almost every single day. I have started to cut back, and that's not because I want to give more to Patreon. It's that I want to give more to other things in my life. I'm trying very hard to make changes in my regular life, not just my business life, but like things that need to get done around my house and just stuff that I want to do. So I am cutting back, and I almost think that cutting back is something that needs to happen for my channel because I have a lot of videos and yet it's not really growing. So the trick is not to keep adding more videos. The trick is to just kick back a little bit, see what happens with my channel, and make choices accordingly. Does that make any sense? And the other thing this person points out is that I'm pissing people off by offering exclusive Fabric Frenzy sales that were meant for the Peanut Gallery members. Now, when I started the Peanut Gallery group and offered fabric to the Peanut Gallery group, yes, it was exclusive at the time to the Peanut Gallery group. I never promised that that's the way it was going to be forever. I have to be able to make all the changes I want. The only reason it ever changed is because it started to fuck up on my blog. The PayPal buttons weren't working and it was a hot mess, so I moved everything to eBay and used that as the platform. And now it was no longer exclusive to group members because it was there for anybody to see. And then I started thinking, I've always wanted to do something for my patrons, and patrons have asked for that. Could you please do something for us with fabric? And I wanted very much to do something special for patrons, but I know people are going to think that way, like that person, or at least a lot of them would. So I needed to be able to do it in, a way that wasn't going to piss people off, and I didn't take away from the Peanut Gallery group and the Frenzy. Again, I added something to the mix. I added like an early bird preview. Everybody got the same things. I saved stock for the group. The thing is that I can't possibly spend my time and energy trying to figure out who the hell I'm going to piss off, because somebody's always going to be pissed off. Now, this was the most successful Fabric Frenzy that I had. I had a pre-sale with patrons, and they bought a shitload of stuff, and I had my Frenzy and still sold a shitload of stuff. So obviously what I did worked. It worked for me. It worked for anybody who was shopping, and it wore me out to the point where I don't know if I want to continue doing it, because that was a workout. But that's why I always space them out. So, it just takes a little time, but usually I'm like right wanting to get back into it. And this time I'm not right wanting to get back into it, but we'll see. That person who complained about my Fabric Frenzies not just being in the group, but being offered to patrons, and the whole only people who pay me are worth my time, she was a patron, and she has been for a long time. And I say was because I took her out. I don't even want a patron who is going to complain to me about patrons getting any kind of perks. That makes absolutely no sense. And as for the Fabric Frenzy, her name has popped up since day one of Fabric Frenzy. She's a shopper who buys a lot of stuff from me. But I said, you know what? That's not my kind of shopper. I don't care how much money she spends on the Frenzy. I took her out of the Peanut Gallery group. I blocked her from Patreon, so I'm no longer getting her pledge. And if I would have seen her buying something on eBay, I would have reversed it and I would have blocked her. I couldn't remember her eBay ID, and I did not want to go through hundreds of invoices, or even on eBay, there's like, it's hard to search. So I thought I'll just, you know, when I see the invoice, I will just refund her, because I just didn't want, to do any business with somebody like that who's going to kind of give me hell, not kind of, but just flat out tell me like all the shitty things I'm doing, and she was a patron. I don't understand that. I just don't. Maybe she didn't want to be a patron anymore. Maybe she wanted out, and then she was just mad that she wasn't going to be able to get those perks. I don't know. But like I said, it's a lot to deal with. It is. It's a lot to deal with. And it's not, you know, like I said, the insults that bother me, it's all this stuff. It's a lot to think about and always to worry about. And even though I can say, oh, I just have to do what I need to do and not let that, you know, bother me, I can't help but, you know, read what people say and know that it does upset people, and some people just don't love the way I do things. Imagine that. They don't get me to do things their way. Oh my God. All right, so this is kind of the mode that I'm in, and that's why I ended up talking about stuff like this, but I am being stared at right now. So I'll just do this with my hands. She's getting in her car. I really have to get home. My mother, geez, I wanted to be home in time for her supper because I got her some chicken wings and some onion rings, but she'll eat it. She'll eat it at some point. All right, thank you so much for hanging out with me for a little bit, and I'll be back with more soon. Bye.